Hey everybody, I'm Randy, and I'm going to talk to you about an insidious form of abuse called reactive abuse. And why is it insidious? Is because it's a form of gaslighting. And you find this in codependent and narcissistic relationships. It is something that the narcissist eventually, for most of, I don't know if it happens in all narcissistic relationships, but it sure happens in mine and many others. And what happens is the victim will have a adverse reaction or an all-out reaction to the abuse. In other words, you're going to snap. You might start yelling, screaming, and throwing stuff, and I mean, you saying things you might just really act out of character. At that point, that is when the abuser, narcissist. By the way, narcissists are abusers. I don't know why we call them narcissists, but it's pretty dumb because I don't know who's going to, what narcissist is going in for treatment. I suppose there are a few. There are a few on YouTube that claim to be self-aware narcissists, but narcissists don't usually accept the fact that they're narcissists or go in to get diagnosed. So that diagnosis is coming from who knows where, from the victim. They got to figure it out for themselves. But listen, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on this right now. Maybe we could, I could delve in this a little further. But the reactive abuse, when you react in a manner, well, you're being trauma bonded. You are under a survival mode. What you're involved with, or what has happened to the victim, is actually they're in a survival mode. They're in a trauma response, PTSD. They call it CPTSD, for lack of better terms and more terms and more terms. Complex post-traumatic stress disorder. Some people flight. Some people fight. I have learned that I'm a fighter when my trauma response is triggered. If you're with a narcissist, you're going to have your trauma response triggered. And see, chances are you've experienced that before. And anyways, the narcissist is going to use, the victim is going to react. And the narcissist is going to tell the victim, this is where the gaslighting comes in, that they have an anger problem. That they are out of their mind, they're crazy, and that they need help. And that's going to create the self-doubt in the victim's mind. It seems like, well, can't they just get out of that? That would be lovely. And that is what you learn later on as you learn about narcissism, and you learn about codependency, and you learn about why you're hanging out with this person, or why you're trauma bonded. You are bonded to this person by this kind of trauma. The narcissist, and you might even use that in front of other people to prove their point. They might even, like in my case, use it in front of your children, to use it for the parental alienation to come in the smear campaign. And they might even record you as you flip out. And it has happened to a lot of people. So what I want to say to you out there that have experienced it, don't feel bad. This has happened to a lot of people. That's number one. Number two, this is a form of abuse. Number three, this is gaslighting. This is what you would classify as a form of gaslighting, and it is abuse. The narcissist is an abuser. And unfortunately, they are human beings too, and God has created them, but they seriously, and they've been abused themselves, and they've been gaslit, and they put themselves, I mean, we could go on, and that'll be maybe another topic about the false self. I just wanted to talk to you about this narcissistic abuse. If you want to call it a tactic, that's fine. Gaslighting tactic called reactive abuse. When I first learned about that, as many of you, like, you're out there Googling around, and because you can't get any answers. You're not getting any answers. You may not even get an answer from your counselors. We went to coaches. Nobody's given answers because they weren't they weren't aware of that. The answers, I did finally get answers from my counselor, started asking me questions. Do I know about narcissistic abuse? Do I know what reactive abuse? Have I ever heard of those terms? Trauma bonding, everything. I think because I had to go find out for myself. Well, I hope somebody's listening. If you have any questions more about this it's called reactive abuse. It's really it's amazing what happens. But you will end up screaming, yelling, throwing stuff, cursing. Boy, you might even have a violent reaction to the abuse that's being perpetrated against you. This is not a normal relationship. This is not a healthy relationship. That's for my narcissist said we were in a toxic relationship, but what she meant, I think, is that I was toxic. She had nothing to do with anything, and many times I found myself reacting in a manner that I don't normally react. In fact, turning it on to me, saying that I was an angry person, that I had anger issues, and that other people like my uncle have said it, or more gaslighting, because I was when I was a kid, I was put into some hospital. When my mom and dad left, I had issues for their divorce, and some adolescent treatment program. Would use anything like that, and because I was in this relationship for such a long time, that self-doubt really took a hold. If there was brainwashing, I really took a hold of that as if that was truth. Now I know so much different on the backside. So I hope you're learning, and I hope to help you learn and gain more information so that you don't spend your life in relationships like this ever again. I will never find myself in those relationships again. Praise the Lord. And thanks be to Jesus. I have been delivered from codependency. So, if you need if you want to talk about that, I'll leave my email down. I do a Bible study called Randysrvbible study. And if you want to know more about that, you can watch on YouTube. But I'll definitely leave my email. Maybe you need somebody to talk to. And at least I could pray for you and give you some more information. All right. Well, good luck. God bless you. Take care.